Welcome, friends. It's morning time here, and I decided to go ahead and sit down and make a video because something has been on my mind. I don't usually post videos or follow TLC Sister Wives here on my channel, and the reason why is because I actually stopped watching Sister Wives several years ago when they first moved to Las Vegas and bought their new homes. The reason was I really liked the original Sister Wives when they all lived together in this like crazy hobbled together house. The rooms were kind of messy. Kody was being like a messy husband and father and all of the wives were kind of struggling. But it was in those early days that the Sister Wives endeared themselves to me. I was pretty into it, if I'm being honest. I liked it because it was a totally different lifestyle, and I'm all about like learning about other people's lifestyle, their religious choices, what's going on in their home, and I feel pretty accepting of different kinds of situations. So when Sister Wives first premiered on TLC, I was into it, and I even thought to myself, I could be a sister wife. Yeah, come on, I could totally be a sister wife. And some of my friends were really into that too, because here's the thing. No, I don't really believe in the Mormon doctrine or the religious principles behind it, but I would like some help from other women when it comes to raising my kids. And at the time that Sister Wives was going on, I only had one child, and I still was like, I need someone to help me with this. So when Sister Wives premiered on TLC, I remember thinking to myself, like, this isn't such a bad setup. I get why someone would be into this. I have to say, here's where it comes out. I love my husband, but sometimes I get overwhelmed with everything he needs from me, like the attention, the affection, just a lot of stuff that I do behind the scenes to keep our family running. It wouldn't bother me so much to have other women around helping me complete all these tasks, and quite honestly, I don't know that it would bother me to share. So my friends and I used to talk a lot about how we would love to live on a commune together and help each other out, because women helping women is where it's at when you're raising children. That's just how I feel. Yeah, so I was really into the initial stages of Sister Wives. You know, they were messy and gritty, there were problems, but they were kind of presenting it like, we choose to live this lifestyle for the benefits from it and because we believe in this doctrine. And Kody made a big deal about how he was really committed to being fair with the wives and trying to make it work, and it was a lot of work for him. He really, let us know this isn't easy. The women had their complaints, but to me, once again, I was caught up in it. I enjoyed watching it. I thought it was a little, I guess it was interesting, but also maybe not needed to see them bringing like Robyn into the fold. I did think, like, do they really need another wife? You could see that they were having their struggles at that time, but I did enjoy watching the show, and I watched them move to Las Vegas. At the time, I thought that they were kind of saying the main reason that they were leaving Utah was because they had put themselves out on TV, and it was looking like they could potentially suffer consequences of that in Utah. They needed to move elsewhere. It was really hard for the kids, and that made me sad. And I did think to myself, like, they should be able to live however they want to live. I don't care what they do in their bedroom if it's not hurting anyone else, not hurting the children. So they moved down to Las Vegas, and this is where the show kind of started losing its pizzazz for me, because they became like people who were very interested in buying these large, amazing homes, and none of that made sense to me. Like, it's all about the TLC money, right? Because Mary didn't have any children left. Her daughter had moved out, was going to college, and yet still she needed a $3,000 brand new Las Vegas home. And all of the wives needed to have the same amount of space, even though they have different numbers of children. And they ended up buying and building these 4 homes in a cul-de-sac in Las Vegas. At that point, for me, it started to seem like the show is becoming kind of performative and fake. I wasn't really buying it. It looked like Kody wasn't really being there and available for all of the wives. I did wonder to myself if he was really in a relationship with several of them. And I just kind of lost interest in it and moved on doing my own thing. But recently, this year, there's been a ton of drama with the Sister Wives show because Christine Brown went ahead and moved her butt the heck out of there. Good for you, Christine. She left and she's living her best life. And I've been watching kind of on the sidelines. I watch some YouTube channels about it and read different articles that come up. They are everywhere. So, I'm reading and checking it out. I know a little bit about what's going on. And then most recently, Kody's son, Peyton, it's Christine Brown's only son, came out and made kind of like a video and also did some kind of an interview where he talks about how he's come to the conclusion that Robyn Brown is simply Kody's soulmate. That Robyn is his soulmate, and Peyton really can't argue with that. He's found the one that he loves, and, polygamy just isn't working for him. Robyn is his soulmate. And I am here to say this. Peyton Brown. Peyton is sweet and a cute kid, but he's young, and he's not a parent, and he's not married. And I just need to say that all of these articles that are coming out and these different commentary channels saying that, Kody he fell in love with Robyn. Robyn's just the love of his life and his soulmate. I'm here to say, no, I do not believe that Robyn Brown is Kody Brown's soulmate. I'll tell you exactly what I think is going on. The truth about the Sister Wives is that the whole setup of what's been going on with the Browns for the past 10 years is that Kody gets to run away from any problem he has within a relationship. He uses polygamy to basically escape when things get hard in a relationship. And all of us who are in our little monogamous relationships, or even if you're not, we have realized that in any kind of relationship, there's an ebb and flow. So sometimes you grow apart and then you choose to come back together and help each other out and reconnect and kind of find out what's going on with the other person, what they're dealing with. There are hard times and there are good times, and it's not easy. But you don't give up on that person. In a monogamous relationship, if you were to give up on your partner, you don't immediately have another option or someone else there to catch you kind of as a net of protection. But that's exactly what Kody Brown has created for himself. Robyn is not his soulmate. She's absolutely not his soulmate, but she is the one that came along last. She's the one that came along last. She's significantly younger than him. She has been able to cater and serve to him throughout their relationship. She met him once they all started making money. So their relationship has gone along having all of this financial independence and being able to bring money into the home. They're able to spend more time together because of the money that they had from TLC and their books and whatever else. They're able to buy a nice home. They have a nanny. These are things that Kody Brown and his other wives could not afford. So it was a little bit harder to live with those other wives. They were more stressed out. Kody was more stressed out. It wasn't easy all the time. So I just have to put out there that rather than Robyn being Kody's soulmate, Robyn is the easiest wife that Kody has ever had to deal with. And it's not just because of who she is. It's because of the money he's made from TLC, the fact that she's significantly younger than him. And then lastly, what I need to bring up, and this is no shade against Robyn. I know a little bit about her, but I haven't watched the most recent episode, so I can't claim to know everything about their relationship. But here's what's going on with Robyn. Robyn was married before, and she brings 3 older children to this relationship with Kody. One of the children has a diagnosis of autism and has required some support throughout his childhood. I believe now he's in college. He's doing very well. But here's the thing. Robyn Brown is more desperate than Mary or Janelle or Christine probably ever was when it comes to keeping Kody in her life. She has 3 older children. She left her husband, her ex-husband, who she claims was abusive towards her, and also left the Mormon religion, so she can't go back to him. She is able to keep custody because Kody married her, and they were able to get custody together. So she has a lot of things that she needs from Kody that the other woman didn't have. She also continues to have young children that she needs help with from Kody. Janelle, Christine, Mary, they're in a totally different stage of their life and in a different stage of marriage that we've all either been through or are going to go through. Our kids are getting older. We don't necessarily have the need for the other person to be there to help us with our young children. And this brings on a different evolution in our relationships. It can be like a little bit of a harder time. It's a time for reconnection. And what is Kody doing? He's running away from that. He's running away from the harder relationships, the relationships that would take more work. And he's running straight to Robyn, who is not his soulmate, but is the easiest of the 4 women for him to deal with at this point in time. Robyn, I'm sorry to say, but I think you should watch out, because in 20 to 30 years, when Kody is 80 or whatever, and you're a little bit older, you're going to be in a similar situation as Janelle, Christine, and Mary. And I think that Kody's just as likely to say, oh well, moving on, as he did to the other women in his life right now. Ultimately, Kody Brown is kind of a narcissist, and his religion has fed into that. This idea that he can just take a woman that he's with, a relationship that he's in, and say like, this isn't really working out right now, so I think I'll just leave this one over here, and yeah, I'll help her out and pay for stuff for her and her children, but I'm going to go get a new wife that's going to give me a lot more of the positive reinforcement I'm looking for, that new relationship feeling. He really craves that, and Robyn's giving it to him for now.